Good morning, class. Welcome to another edition of Maths with Ablight. The square of 5 is 25, so you put it in square root because the square root of this will give you exactly 5. 1 over x is equal to 27 raised to power x. Express square root of 32 as square root of 16 multiplied by square root of 2. X to power a plus b. Good morning, class, and welcome to yet another interesting edition of SURDS, Maths with Ablight. So we are continuing SURDS as I told you in the previous video. Now we want to express these numbers as a square root of a single number. If you watched the previous video, you will find out that we took those numbers and expressed them in this simplest form. Now we want to convert these numbers back into their original single square root form. How do we do that? We are going to, I'll take the first one this way. Solution. Oh, sorry, solo here, Sean, do not forget that. Now the first one says 2 root 3. In order to get the original single number or square root number that gave this answer, all you need to do is find out what is the square of 2. Square root is different from square. The square of a number is when that number multiplies itself, the answer it gives is the square of that number. So what is the square of 2? It is 4, because when you multiply 2 by 2, you get 4. It means that square root of 4 is what gave you 2 initially. And then it is going to be multiplied by square root of 3. Because the square root of 3 is present there. This one is this one. We've not done anything. We only expressed this in a square root form. So this can multiply itself right now. And that gives you what? Square root of 12. So this is the answer they want from you, because it says express it as a square root of a single number. This is a single number with a square root above it. The second one is telling you that 3 root 2. This is simple in itself. What is the square of 3? It is 9. Square root of 9 is what gives you 3. You've got to always express it in square root because you are dealing with SURDS, and it says you should express it as a square root of a single number. So this must be expressed in this form. But because the square root of 9 gives you 3, and the square of 3 is 9. So you take the square root of 9 because you want to represent 3 in the square root form. Multiply that by the square root of 2, and that gives you square root of 18. This is simple enough. The third one is simple. It says 2 root 2. I'm sure by now you know you've already calculated the answer. You take the square of 2, put it in square root, and that is 4. Multiply that by this one, square root of 2. Everything together gives you root 8. Simple enough. The next one is saying we should find 5 root 2 as a single number squared. Yeah, square root of a single number. That means the square of 5 is square root of 25. Put it like that. The square of 5 is 25, so you put it in square root because the square root of this will give you exactly 5. And then multiply it by root 2. And that gives you square root of 50. Simple answer. Lastly, we have 2 root 5. This is simple. Find the square of this. So you put it in square root, it gives you 4 multiplied by the normal square root of 5, and that gives you square root of 20. And this gives you the answer. So I'm going to give you an assignment as well. Express this number as a square root of a single number. I want you to try out 4 root 3. Express this for me as a square root of a single number. In the next class, I'll do the correction. Ensure you get it. Ensure your children do this assignment, and it helps to sharpen their brain. I'll tell you something interesting about mathematics. I've seen a lot of people ask, oh, the mathematics I learned in school, what have I used it for? All the while I've been in school, they've been telling me to find X. Till now, I'm still finding X. I cannot find X. As funny as it is also not funny. Mathematics has a way of sharpening your brain and helping you to critically reason. It helps your problem-solving skill. It makes you think. And when you're able to think, that is for those who will not go into the mathematics line in future. But doing this in primary and high school helps you to think and improves your problem-solving skill. Imagine no one explains this to you, or even if someone did and then you're in an exam situation all alone by yourself, this is given to you to be expressed as a square root of a single number. And then you have never come across that even from your teachers. For instance, there's just so much your teachers can do, you know. And then you've seen all these things, you are used to what your teachers have taught, and you enter an examination situation. I've been using 4, 3, 2, and the rest of them. You see somebody saying 16, and then with square root of maybe, what big number can I think of now? Let's say, I want a number that doesn't have a perfect square. So let's say 17. It is similar to what I have done, but the figures are bigger. At that time, you are now left to now think, what methods did my teacher use? Can it work with this one? Yes, it can. And then you now ask yourself, what did he do? He looked for the square of this, put it in square root, and multiplied by this. However big this problem is, on your own, you have been able to figure out a way to go about it, and you will get the answer. This will now apply to you later in life. You get to that point, you are at a crossroad. You start thinking, what is the solution to this? What is the solution to this? You now think, perhaps you have read a book of somebody who was faced with similar situation, or you have had a one-on-one experience with someone who has gone through that, or you've read stories, you've watched movies, and somehow you try to use the method that person used to achieve success, but you now improve it and see how you can achieve a bigger success. If also the person failed, you try to avoid the methods the person used in solving those methods, and then try to use better methods so you can achieve success in that situation. Mathematics is very good. You do it on a daily basis without knowing. It improves your problem-solving skill and your critical reasoning, because you are ever going to be faced with new problems as long as you breathe. If it's not from health, if it's not from psychic, it's not from, there must be one thing that must come that needs solution. So always pay attention to your mathematics. Give it time. Think critically. What ways, or what is this question expecting of me? What am I expected to do? And then you continue to do it in that way. Do not see maths as something that is so difficult or something that is not relevant. It is relevant to you on a daily basis. In the next class, we are going to look at addition of SURDS, subtraction of SURDS, multiplication and division of SURDS. Like I told you, it's a long topic, but I'm going to be taking each part of it bit by bit so it doesn't become boring. I'll be expecting to see this assignment in the comment section. Mothers, fathers, if you have a child who is having problem with this or whose class level is studying this topic, ensure they do this assignment and it's going to really help them. And if there is a topic you think you want me to talk on or to give lectures on, drop it in the comment section down below and I'll look at it and then go through everything. I'm seeing your comments and I appreciate everything you've been saying. If there are areas you want me to improve, I'll keep improving. For instance, I've seen some feedback, some review that have said they cannot see the board very well and that my handwritings are too small. So if you notice in this video, I try to make them as bold as possible so that everyone can see. Such reviews are welcome. I really appreciate them. Make your comments there and I'll keep improving until we get it right. In the meantime, ensure to share this video. Somebody needs it. Subscribe, like, and share. Have a lovely weekend. See you in the next class. Bye.